Welcome to video lesson problem and solution number 2. You should only be here if you've already completed problem solution number 1. Let's go ahead and start by taking notes. Please make sure that your name and today's date and your period are written down at the top of your paper, and then you are ready to begin taking notes. Identifying problems and solutions. Please review what you have learned about problems and solutions. Remember that a problem is something that causes trouble. Again, a problem is something that causes trouble. A solution is what makes the problem go away. A solution is what makes the problem go away. In fiction, the problem is called the conflict. And the solution is called the resolution. To find a problem and its solution, ask yourself what is causing trouble. This is the problem or conflict. Ask yourself what solves the problem or makes it go away. This is the solution or resolution. Let's read the following passage. As you read, circle something that causes trouble. Then underline what makes the trouble go away. Hannah screamed and jumped on the sofa. "Are you okay?" her mother asked. "A spider!" Hannah pointed to a spider that was crawling across the carpet. Okay, so this is the trouble, so I'm going to circle it. A spider. This is what caused the trouble. "Don't worry," said Hannah's mother. "Just get me a bucket from the garage." Hannah retrieved the bucket for her mother, who put it over the spider. "What now?" Hannah asked. "Get me a sheet of thick paper," Hannah's mother replied. Her mother slid the paper under the bucket. Then she positioned the bucket upright. Hannah followed her mother out the door and watched as she gently placed the bucket on its side. The spider soon scuttled out onto the grass, and Hannah realized that the spider did not seem so scary outside. Okay, so how was this problem solved? We need to underline that. So there's a series of things that helps the problem go away, right? So the biggest resolution part, or the culminating, is that the spider scuttled out onto the grass. Okay, and once it was outside, Hannah realized that the spider did not seem quite so scary. So first it was a spider that scared Hannah, right, and made her jump on the sofa. And then Hannah realized that the spider didn't seem so scary once it was outside. So let's use this graphic organizer to help us identify problems and solutions. Ask yourself what is causing the trouble and what makes the trouble go away. Hannah sees a spider in the living room, and then we can look at what we underlined. The spider, Hannah's mom puts the spider outside. Okay, there's the solution. By putting it outside, Hannah realizes that it's not so scary. Okay, let's turn to use what you learned. Read the passage, then answer the questions by identifying problems and solutions. On a separate sheet of paper, make a graphic organizer to organize your thoughts. And I'm actually going to, instead of using a separate sheet of paper, I'm going to go ahead and just create it down here. Remember from page 1 that we need one box to be our problem, and one box is going to be our solution. Remember, in fiction, this would be called conflict and resolution. All right, let's go ahead and read the passage. In the 18th century, ships were powered by wind, so a single trip often took a very long time. For example, a typical voyage on a popular route usually lasted 2 years. How could a homesick sailor keep in touch with his family during the long, lonely journey? Captain James Colnett figured out a way. In 1793, he sailed to Florina Island, which is off the coast of South America in the Galapagos Islands. Many ships passed by Florina Island, so Captain Colnett set up a barrel there. Sailors heading away from home dropped letters addressed to loved ones into the barrel. Then other sailors returning home picked up letters from the barrel that were addressed to places they were headed. They delivered these letters to the appreciative families of sailors who were still away. The system worked well. In fact, it is still in place today. So let's go ahead and use what we learned of problem and solution to answer these questions. Number 1, what problem is described at the end of the first paragraph? So let's go ahead and look back to the first paragraph, and it says at the end, so I'm going to read the last sentence. How could a homesick sailor keep in touch with his family during the long, lonely journey? Okay, so this shows us that our problem is that sailors who were homesick, that means they missed their home, didn't have a way to keep in touch with their family. So you should go ahead and use this as your response in a complete sentence to number 1. Number 2, why did Captain James Colnett set up a barrel at Florina Island? All right, so let's go ahead and look back in the text to figure that out. So it says right here, many ships passed by Florina Island, so Captain Colnett set up a barrel there. Sailors heading away from home dropped letters addressed to loved ones into the barrel. Then other sailors returning home picked up letters from the barrel and that were addressed to places where they headed. So the reason why, this is the reason why, because the problem was that people wanted to communicate with their family that were away. So because many ships passed by, it was a good location to set up to allow people to put letters in there and then have other sailors take those letters out and go back home with them. This is your answer, okay? They delivered the letters to appreciative families. Okay, that's how Captain James Colnett solved this problem. Go ahead and use this information to answer this question number 2 in a complete sentence. Number 3, was Captain James Colnett's solution a good one? Good one. Explain how you know. Okay, well, let's go back and see what the text says. It says, they delivered the letters to the appreciative family of sailors who were still away. The system worked well. So it tells us right here the answer to number 3, that yes, it worked well. And how do we know? It says, in fact, it's still in place today. So that means the system was so good that they kept using it and they still use it today. Please go ahead and use this information to answer question number 3 in a complete sentence. Once you finish answering all 3 of these questions in a complete sentence, you are ready to check it off on your progress tracker and move on to the quiz for problem and solution. Make sure you read the passage and answer the multiple choice questions on the back. You do not have to do number 8. You can go ahead and cross that off. Remember that if you get 5 to 7 correct, you may skip lesson 3. If you get 0 to 4 correct, you do need to complete lesson 3. Okay, so please make sure that you take your test on here first and then input your answers in the computer. And don't forget to grade yourself so that you'll know what you need to do next.